Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to this, whatever this is, the show. So I don't know what's going on. I just went from computer one to computer two. We'll see if this works any better. I'm having all kinds of issues with that computer. I don't know why, but that's how it's going. Take two. Take two. Take two. All right. So last night I had some issues. Good to see you, by the way. Thanks for coming, Amy the Mod. Loved the live stream today. That was excellent. Excellent. Oh, life is good. You can hear me. All right. Well, good. I heard you earlier, and that was fun too. I enjoyed that very much. I too didn't realize it was St. Patty's Day. I mean, I knew it was kind of like coming up and that kind of stuff, but I think, shamrock shakes, that kind of stuff. Even though I didn't get one. But yeah, good. I'm glad you can hear me. I'm just going to give it a minute and it's okay. Guess what? That's not the last time that your little one will do that to you in life. You already know this. You have older ones. Well, not older, but yeah, you get it. You totally get it. And I think it's cool that you get it. My youngest is a freshman in college. Hey, KK. Chris Coon in the house. What's up, KK? I'm going to play some music. I'm going to see if it gets me in trouble. But the caveat is that I am not going to play songs by the original artist. I am going to play this. I'll see if you guys like it. I'll turn it down a little bit so that you can maybe hear. I hope my... Tell me if it's too loud. Tell me if I need to turn it down. Is that a little better? Soothing sounds from the Bill Show. So these are covers. I'm going to play covers tonight and see if it works. If it's loud, they'll hear it. Yeah, they probably will hear it. So KK, how are you? I don't know if you heard me last night, KK. I was happy to hear about the awesome news. Oh, turn it up. Okay, I'm sorry. I feel real bad. I'm sorry. Let's jam just for a minute. I'm glad to hear that, KK. I am. My hometown girl. So this is a righteous song. I love this song. I love it by the original artist, but this is a nice twist. Cheers. Edgy, baby. Edgy. Oh, so you can still hear me, right? Amy, yeah. If this chat fills up, yeah, I did one night where I just went on a crazy dance tear. I did it in the basement. I was up. I was jamming. So Amy the Mod in the house. Hey, Headless Horseman, man. Good to see you. My friends are showing up. I haven't seen you guys. We'll see. I've been off for about a month. So far, we still got... Thanks, Headless. I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate that like crazy. We have Amy the Mod in the chat with us. We'll get more into that in a little bit. This is my music. From you, there's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. Like this rain down in Africa. Things you never heard. I love this version. So badass. All right, so my goal is that I'm going to pound some beers because I've got 2 in me, and by the time I'm done with this, I'm going to have 2 more in me. So I just want to say, we're just gonna. I'm just hanging, man. I'm just hanging. I have no agenda. Yeah, I could go all into Q. People that have been part of the channel, whatever, the listening crew, they've heard me. They heard me a million times, man. I have spewed Q over and over and over. And I love it. I love the Great Awakening. I love what we're in. I love what's going down. It's phenomenal. But I'm ready for the next scene. I hope that we're going to see some. It's happening. I mean, it's happening, right? How could it not be happening? If you've been on board, as I have, since I've said it before, I guess I'll just do a real quick, just kind of wrap up how I got where I got, when I got, and why I'm here. I found pretty quickly that the Q movement, the Q drops, through many phenomenal channels, but that helped decipher the Q drops early on. They did a phenomenal job, but it was the sensibility of where the drops led us. It was the information that was being waterfalled onto us. It was cascading. We don't even understand. I mean, those of us who have been in this movement for a while, we completely understand now in hindsight that the very first part of the Q drops were the biggest intelligence drops that were ever given in the history of mankind, as far as we know, to the average Joe citizen. Okay, not people, albeit that are YouTubers are technically savvy enough, or even care enough. They're wired, they're brainwashed, they're dialed into their televisions. I'll kind of, like I said, I'm going to recap. I haven't watched television for probably 3 years, and definitely no kind of television for like watching shows and stuff. I do put on the news a little bit. I make sure that I'm watching it. I make sure that I know you guys didn't hear that because I covered up the microphone with my hand, so I know that didn't come through because I didn't want to be rude. I probably should have hit the mute button, but that's okay. My hands work. I saw, the narrative swing that was going on in the mainstream television, as did you. Most of you did. And I could smell what they were cooking. I could smell what they were dishing up. And when you kind of, you find your North Star, many times in life, you find your North Star, something that guides you. But in this case, the Q was the North Star. We just didn't know it for a little while. Now we do. Now, many of us absolutely do. And so that's a good point. You say so many rabbit holes, Amy the Mod, so many rabbit holes. There are so many rabbit holes. I guess I'm going to pivot off of where I'm going on the Q just for a second, because I've got it now, like where my kids were. One thing I found is that I can't be so, what's the word? I can't be so absolute about anything because nothing is absolute, and we've been told nothing is absolute. But one of my kids brought up and said, what about Titanic? They're saying that Titanic didn't sink. And I said, listen, I've heard about it, I read about it, I see the pros and cons. I know why people think that the Titanic sunk. I know why people think it didn't sink. um there, whether you think it sunk or whether you didn't think it sunk, three of the top 10 richest people in all of the world, whatever that means, and I'm not a flat earther, by the way, but three of the top 10 richest people in the world died that day that the Titanic sunk. I said it's too big of a it for what's going on in the Q movement, for the truth bombs that are being dropped in the Q movement, for the proofs, the future proofs that have proved the past in the Q movement. I got no time I to worry about the Titanic. I got no time to jump into these other rabbit holes. Why? Because the most important thing in my life is what's going on right in front of me right now. I think it's fun to study history. I love studying history. I love it. You guys know I do. I I've studied Marxism, fascism. I know why now we are where we are at, and how we got here. And so do you. Most of you do. I might do another breakdown on the whole socialism agenda and how we got to where we are. I might do that again and take you through the Kennedy years and take you through the Reagan years and take you through why we were in World War II and why we got into Vietnam and why Korea before that, and what the setup was to that. Maybe I'll do that in a little bit. I don't know. I got no rules tonight. I'm just gonna hang out. I'm gonna hang out and have some beers and talk to my friends. So I'm so glad you guys are all here. Everybody say hi to Amy the mod. She is a moderator for the Patriot Hour. It has a very significant show, and I'll encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to her channel. From what I've seen, listen, she's a real person, and she's a truther. So, and she's not she's awesome. What I was going to say is she's not an asshole, because we've all seen plenty of those in the truth movement too, and we got no time for those. I've checked out of many asshole channel and backed off, and her channel is budding. It's growing because she's real. She's a real person, man. What are you going to do? Real people are awesome to hang with, as long as they're cool. I mean, you're at the point in time where you have to start just kind of looking at everything. I've said this in past videos. God, I repeat myself. I don't know. I should just not rewatch my videos because I get just so I don't want to talk about it again. I feel like I'm talking all of your ears off of your heads. Maybe that's in part of my break. I don't know why I stepped away for 3 or 4 weeks. I don't know. I'm human too. I'm as human as any one of you. I have a life. I have a family, but I'm not ignorant. I am fully wide awake, and I think we're going to see some shit happen here real soon. Yeah. Thanks, Amy. I appreciate that. That's usually where I end up going, but all right. Well, you know what? I probably will just start ranting about the Q drop. I don't know. God, there's been so many lately. I mean, Q told us that there would be a waterfall of information that was coming, and Q wasn't lying. I mean, people are waking up. People are waking up in droves. It truly feels like those of us that are in the know are watching. We are, you know what? We're watching the plan, which we have trusted very much. We are watching the plan unfold right before our eyes. And if you are a sensible individual, now you have to be educated, at least in the school of when you're being lied to, when you're not being lied to. But if you're along those lines, it's happening. We are watching this plan unfold. In fact, I feel weird for being away for a month, because I might have jumped back on the stream like right as we're crossing the goal line. And that was not my intent. My intent was to kind of back off of YouTube and kind of gather myself. Some of my subs that have been here a while know that what happened a month ago or whatever, it kind of fucked me up that it came back and resurfaced and everything. And I didn't want that, I just kind of wanted to not blow the channel up and just go about having a good time chatting with my friends. So that's what we're doing. Anyway, how are you guys? Yeah, shit's definitely going on. I'm sorry. Are you back, KK? Can you see me? Can you hear me? What's going on with you guys? You know what's going down, Amy. You know what's going down. All of us that are and listen to this. You guys, you want to hear the highlight of my day? Want to hear the highlight? You know what I did today? You know where I live. I live in West Michigan. I live in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And guess who's coming to speak in my hometown here on March 28th? That's actually from now, my time, it's 10 days as of today. I will be going to see, in my opinion, the greatest president of the last 200 years. Whatever. I am registered and I am going to see President Trump speak 15 minutes from my house. And I got to tell you, it feels phenomenal. It really does. It feels sensational. You know what, Amy? I know Patriot Hour is in northern Indiana. Maybe Patriot Hour will come up and watch Trump speak, because we're only an hour and a half north of the Indiana border where we are. Yeah. So I'm very excited. So excited to go see this man. He actually was here in my hometown the night before the election. You guys remember when he was campaigning hard through the Midwest, when he went to Pennsylvania, he went to Wisconsin. Well, where his last stop was here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And it was in the early hours, actually, of the day so we were voting the next day. And he came here and I didn't go see him. I knew I was voting for him. But that was long before the Q movement had, hey, MB, that was long. It has been a long time, Em. It's good to see you too. Thank you. That was long before Q had surfaced. That's when Trump just came with a plan. You remember, you guys have seen, you guys have heard. I played it for you, like, I guess a month ago, the speech that got Trump elected. It is a lot about the entirety of the speech that he gives. But what he comes out and says is that okay, let me get in Trump mode. Let me get in Trump mode. I want to talk about Russia. I want to talk about China. And I want to talk about all that. It's very tremendous. It's very tremendous. It's the most tremendous thing ever. He comes out, and I showed this to my folks because I've had to wake them up like every 3 months. As you guys know, I pound my head against their wall because I got to go rescue them from the grips of CNN and MSNBC and CSNBC, whatever they're all bullshit. I mean, they don't report on any of the guy's good stuff. They don't report on any of his good stuff ever, which tells you that there's an agenda. We know this. We all know this. But he comes out, and it's the speech that got Trump elected. He says, our movement. This is while he's running for president, you guys. Our movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment designed to do nothing more than enrich itself while it beats the bullshit and the brakes off of us. All right. I might have went off script for the last sentence, but you get what I'm saying. Our movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment. I always found that speech, even the day I heard it, it was kind of like one of those infamy speeches, the speech that will go down in infamy. Why? Because he just detailed and laid out the truth like nobody. Like nobody. He got up on a stage with who knows how many Republican people running. Hey, Petra, it's great to see you too. Thank you. He got up on that stage with those Republicans. He shredded Jeb Bush. He beat the brakes off Marco Rubio and Kasich and everybody else on that stage. They did nothing but threw this guy one opponent after another, and he survived them all. Go back and look at some of these debates. Go back and look at the debates during the Republican National Convention when he was running just to be the RNC representative. It is insane what this guy has been through. But what I love most in that speech that got Donald Trump elected is that he said she should be in jail. He said, remember, folks, the Clintons are criminals. Remember that. He talked about the money that filters through the Clinton Foundation. He spoke about all of that. After their second debate, he got up with Hillary, not with her, but at a roast, which was supposed to, like, I don't know what it is. It's some sort of $1,000 a plate dinner thing where they get up and they kind of trade jabs in good spirit. He got up in there and he made some jokes, and then he came out and he spoke about some hard truths. He had the donors and the lobbyists were groaning, and actually these are the people that are involved in the crimes that we are starting to have unveiled in front of us, right? Absolutely. Hey, Shaq, what's up? Shaq, that was my favorite. That was excellent, man. I loved that roast. It was it was so good, and it was so poorly received by who? Globalists. It was the globalists that were listening and are like, oh. You guys ever see the guy like to the immediate left of Trump during that roast, who's got his little weird globalist medal on? I don't know what he is, but this man was sweating like his forehead looked like he had just dunked his head in a bucket of water or oil. I mean, this guy, and he had a lot of these nervous little ticks. He was like this. Trump would say something, and he'd like look over, and he'd like look at Hillary, and he'd be like, and he'd see she's not laughing. He's like, and he kind of not laugh. I mean, total globalists. You guys, we are going to tell our kids, if we live that long, about how we were awake during the Great Awakening. The other shoe is literally about to drop. It's going to drop. Yeah, lock her up. Yeah, that guy was worried, right, Shaq? Yeah. And the girl behind him with the white gloves, every time that Trump would start saying something that was like this, like, oh my God. You know what she would do? She'd look at her program and pick her glasses up, and she'd stick them on like she was studying. And Trump's talking about how she hates Catholics and stuff, and people are just like giving them the berries and the bananas, and it's just so funny. It just to come out and be who he is. I've told you before. Listen, he's a billionaire. Okay. I only know what it's like to be a multimillionaire. No, I don't. He's a billionaire. We didn't live in the same world. I just find it incredibly refreshing how he just goes out there and takes none of their bullshit in any way. He just comes out there and like, bam, I just smack you. Of course I'm going to say it. Of course I'll say it. He just says it. He just comes out and says it. And that's why he got elected, right? We all knew something wasn't right. We all knew what we had been born and raised to believe that this great, great country that we've grown up in was supposed to be. And we felt it falling through our hands. It was literally sand through the hourglass, through our hands of what we'd been born and raised to believe and know. And quite honestly, if you weren't awake, you'd still be watching that sand fall through your hands. But that all stopped. That all stopped the day that Donald J. Trump announced his candidacy. That all stopped. And when he said that he was going to run for president, I immediately felt the hope and change that Obama said he was going to bring us resurface. Because quite honestly, that man, Obama, got my vote based on hope and change, because shit was going sideways back then. It was going sideways, man. My kids would come home from, they were in public school. Now, they're in a good school, but it was public school. And what comes with funding of public school? A narrative shift. You have Common Core. That is socialism. That is programming to the nth degree. And I would have to, not every day, not every week, not every month, but I kept communication open with my kids all the time. Non-negotiable, 110%. I would talk to my kids like I'm talking to you, maybe with a little bit of parental flair, but I encourage my children to speak with me and talk to me. Why? Because I had to fucking deprogram many of the programming narratives that they were putting into their head in the public school. And you got to stay on that shit with your kids. I mean, if you look at the public school system or the school system in general, or even the college school system, it's the hands-off parenting approach of, oh, well, they're the educators. Fuck that. The teachers are fantastic, but the teachers are trying to save their jobs. So what are they going to teach? They're going to teach the curriculum. Where's the curriculum come from? We know where the curriculum comes from. From people that don't have their best interests in mind. And don't you ever forget that. They don't have collectively your best interest in mind. And you know this. I know you know this. Well, yes, absolutely. Liberal indoctrination. It's, Amy, you don't know this about me. I voted in every election up until Trump, except for one. I voted for Democrat. And I won't make excuses other than to say I was fucking brainwashed like everybody else. But back in those days, it didn't matter. I could have voted for Republican and it wouldn't have mattered. It didn't matter either way. They were steering the ship towards their end goal. And their end goal was to take every single one of you, including me, and bring our level of living and our kids down while they elevated third world countries up. I got no problem with elevating other countries up. I got no problem with it. I got a major issue where you lie, steal, cheat, and just say some of the most corrupt, total fucking bullshit to make us come down. It's like handwriting was on the wall. I mean, that's why I guess it was very easy with his message and watching his debates to get behind him and then to hear the truths. Because listen, it's the words, it's the things that are wrote and written that will set us free if we get them in the right direction. And the things that were written and wrote by Q, man, they sure felt promising. They felt phenomenal, and they felt promising. And what aided to that? I mean, had nothing come true, had the future not proved Q's past predictions, we wouldn't be having this conversation, and it would have just been some other maybe rogue FBI agent that had a conscience, or a CIA agent that had a conscience. Because in large, those factions of our government are not corrupt. I mean, it does not take 90% of the FBI to make the FBI corrupt. It takes about 5% of the people that are in the most influential positions who are catering to the 5% above them in positions of power that are corrupt and that are catering to the 5% above them. That's what we're dealing with, guys. I mean, this is a global issue that's going to be taken down, but by far and wide, as a majority, we are good people. We are all very much good people. There are a ton of people that have their hearts in the right place, that are in our Congress, that are in our Senate, that are in politics, period. They're there. But they see the bullshit. Now, maybe their conscience got them and they said, whoa, I'm going to steer clear of that people and that people and that people. But yet, silence is consent. That doesn't make you a bad person, but by and large, there's good people that are in government that just are afraid. You know, how would you feel if you like ran to get a job and you're like, I can't wait to get in this job because it's going to help me change the world. And you got in there and they said, slow down, person, slow down. You're here now. This is the order of business, and you can get things done, but you will do them in the correct manner. And that's the beauty of what's going on with the Democrats, the freshman Democrats that are in the Congress that got voted in the midterm elections, which was all by design. We know this already. Voted in by design and allowed to rig the election in many circumstances where they were allowed to use the voting machines that rigged the election. Because I ask you this again. Hey, Robert Nozawa, how can everybody turn out for the midterm elections? We win the Senate and we lose the House. I'm sorry. Any explanation that you have for me that doesn't involve voter fraud holds no water. You go in to the midterm elections, as most of us did, probably the large majority of us did, went into the midterm elections, and we pulled that lever for Republicans. Did we pull it for the Republican senator, but not for the Republican congressman that was going into the House? Hell no, we didn't. Nobody in their right damn mind went in there and said, oh, I'll take this Republican, I'll take this Democrat, and I'll do this and this and this. Maybe 1% did. Maybe they do. But you know what? You don't want to have a conversation with people like that anyway. They'll take you in places you don't want to go. Just trust me. But the voter fraud was allowed to happen, and it had to happen. It's all part of this plan. It's all part of the Great Awakening, you guys. The voter fraud that won the Democrats, the House of Representatives, what is allowed to happen so that the public, not you, not me, not us that are awake, it was so John Q. Public would go, that's odd, that's strange, that's weird. And you can't fault these people. I mean, many of you have tried to wake people up. I've tried to wake so many people up. I have no friends. That's by choice. I have alienated everyone that meant something to me in my life, trying to give them the truth. And you know what? I ain't mad. I'm not upset about it. They might it might come back. I don't know. It might. But until this whole thing goes down, I'm just going to be that guy, you know? And I don't know what other guy to be. That's me. And I know you guys get that. I know you get that. For those of you joining us just now, please say hi to Amy the Mod. She's a moderator for the Patriot Hour, which is a channel that, I've followed probably at least for a year and a half. I mean, shortly after the whole Q, things started coming out, the Patriot Hour, and there's a few channels that kind of shifted the direction that they were going. Listen, their channels are big. I never had illusions. I told you that of having a channel. I didn't. But these people have delivered. And if you really think about it, if you think about the people that you get your information from, at least in the Q movement, these people have delivered and gone above and beyond. Why? It's by the pure fact that they punch in on the clock every day and say, you know what, I'm going through this. They're not fair weathered like me. They got their lives together, you know. They're just, I mean, they definitely deserve a tip of the cap. Absolutely. They'll get that tip of the cap too. I believe that. So what's going on with you guys? I've been talking a lot. Sheesh. Thank you, KK. I know you are. I know you guys are. I know you guys that are here are absolutely. I know, and I appreciate that. And I'm sorry I've been away. Yeah, that's true, Shaq. Yeah, you know what? It's funny. I was having a thought yesterday. I was thinking about. Oh, well, cheers, Robert Nazawa. Cheers, my brother from Hawaii. That was fun. I got to chat with Robert Nazawa's folks. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I didn't really get to chat. I got the digital chat, but I did get I did get to. I hope that dinner went good. Thanks, Em. Yeah, yeah. I like Michael. I like Michael a lot. He's a level-headed, good guy. He's a good guy. He's a great guy. He's a patriot. He can be in my foxhole 24/7, 365, and I could probably actually sleep knowing that because hey, he's kind of badass, man. You know, he gets it. He gets it. It's funny when you meet, I guess virtually when you interact with people, you like kind of get it, or you get the vibe, and you see them and you talk to them, or you don't get it. And they always say, kind of like go with your gut. And man, I think go with your gut has stood the test of time. I'm glad your parents enjoyed it, Robert. I rewatched it and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, Bill. What are you saying to his parents? But it was cool. It was, man. You know what? I was honored to actually be able to have a word with him, Robert. That was fun. That was fun. All right. So is it time for another song? I think so. Mhm. Oh wait. Okay. Go. I gotta grab a beer. I'll be right back. I don't know what this is. Oh, it's still that same song. They're having a music break. Robert Wallace, what's up, buddy? Ready, set, beer. Still good. I'm enjoying it. Ooh, that's nasty. That's so nasty. I like that. Oh, that's very good. It's so very good. All right, I'm gonna go into another song and drink this beer, and then we're gonna talk a little bit. And I'll jump in the chat here for a minute. Let's see. I want another cover. It's like double bass. Here we go. Here's another cover to an old favorite of mine.
Makes it easy to take your wildest dreams to new
Right after
heights.
these words from your local
With
sponsors.
WordPress plugins and themes, so you
In
can
5
create a
seconds.
website without limits. Bluehost.
Oh,
Transcend
did I
the
miss
template.
anybody? It's great to see you guys. Let's jam. I'm gonna have a beer. I'll get in the chat.
Studios.
Let's probably turn that down a little bit, right? Just turn it up. It's great to have you here, Amy. I know some of you heard this already, and I'll just say it. Amy the Mod is with us. She's a moderator on the Patriot Hour. Welcome her. She's very cool, very hip, very hip. Great mom, great person, super awesome. You know how you kind of get it once you kind of tune in. That's good volume. That's good. That's good. Nice. Right. Amy's one of you guys. Amy's one of me guys. Amy's one of us. She's awake. She's a patriot. She loves her family. She loves her kids. The hell is there to not like? Haters gonna hate, right? And I would do well myself to take a spoonful of that medicine. I do let things affect me. I don't know why. I think I care too much about what people think. I don't know why I care. I should feel like not caring. But that feels so wrong to not care. Like, I don't understand how people can be so ignorant. You know, willfully ignorant I can deal with. KK, I get you. I get you so much. I get so many of you. I get you. I just feel like we come from a place of just like, can't we all just get along? Jesus. Let's have some fun. Let's go to work. Let's crack some beers. Let's tell some jokes. Let's get our country back. What the fuck? Right. Man. It's that bumper sticker that's out. Mean people suck. They do suck. People walk around all day. Me, I'm all upset. Me, I ain't fucking doing that. Fuck Q. Me, I ain't fucking dealing with Q. I ain't doing it. I'm sorry for cursing, I am, but you know me. I can't help it. It just comes out of me. I don't know how it's to be. I got no. Yeah. So I'm very happy to be back. Oh, stop it, Headless. Stop it. Stop. We're all the same, bro. That's so right on, Check. Prayer is such a valuable tool. I mean, otherwise, what else are we here for? I mean, I speak to whatever that higher power, creator, God. I admit, I don't have all the answers. But the answers I do have, I hold very dear to my heart. You know what I mean? Robert Wallace, I love you. You know I do. It's going in Pacololo style, my bro. My bros. Well, you can't say that. The men, my bros and my girls. Yeah, I won't do it rhymes because you're not that food stamp. Oh, food stamp. What the hell happened? Somebody like send out the invites? Food stamps in the house. All right, food stamp. Hit me with some funny shit. Go. Oh, it's so nice to see you guys. Yeah. And it can. I'm an Aquarius. I am an Aquarius from the top of my bald head to the tips of my smelly feet. Although they only smell until I wash them. But I'm an Aquarian. How many of you are Aquarius? I'm not even sure that matters. I don't know. Sure. I'm married to a Leo. I don't know. She definitely keeps me as straight and narrow as I can be, which is kind of, a sidebar off of straight and definitely on a diagonal pattern of narrow. That way. But thank God for what I got instead of what I deserve in life, because I feel blessed and awesome. My youngest daughter is a Gemini. I have the greatest debates with my youngest. I think she's going to go to law school, you guys. She just was talking about it yesterday. Oh, MB, you would keep me so straight and narrow. I'll tell you what. I'll see you later. Well, if the other person doesn't enter and want that beer shack, you can definitely put it in the cooler for me. Because I'm game. I'm cool. I'm down. I'd do that. Food stamp, I just read your comment. You guys, I do love food stamp. I do. It's good to see food stamp, as it is all of you. All right, so the live stream is still going. There's no I haven't been shut off. I tried, for those of you that maybe you've seen it. I looked, I saw that both of the live streams I tried to do last night, I mean, they had plenty more views than people that were in the stream. So I don't know why. Maybe it was just that computer versus this computer, but this computer here seems to be doing its job. So I'm going to pour beer on it and give it a drink. Maybe not. It's doing its job, and that's good. What are you guys talking about? What's going on? The Geminis. Petra's a Gemini too. Yep. You know, me and so broad. I'm not going to paint with that broad of a brush. You know what? Maybe we're all supposed to get along. Regardless, we're all supposed to get along. But there is something about like when you were born, where you were born, what time it was, all of that stuff. Yeah, I don't want to go down that hole, but yeah. There's only one type of people that I can't get along with, and all I'll tell. Actually, no, I'm not going to say that. You talk about reopening Pandora's box. I'm not saying that shit. D. Everybody say hi to D in the house. D. Part of my North Star. It's great to see you. You know what we're talking about, D? We ain't talking about shit. We already talked about Q. We already talked about this, that, and this. Now we're just talking about nothing. I came on tonight, D, with no agenda, nothing to, you know. I know, Amy. Sometimes I got to wear a helmet when I talk to a liberal. Why? Because I fucking run my head into the wall over and over and over. Absolutely ridiculous. Amy the mod, say hello to Dee Dee. She's one of my mods, and she's great. She's from Louisiana, and she's phenomenal. Your next door neighbor, Amy. You're in Alabama. The sweet tobacco posy is the rose of Alabama. So I've heard. Look at MB jumping in with the caps. I love it. Swear to God, I do. I like hanging with you guys. I don't know how late we're going to go, but we're going to just go. We're going to go. We're going to go for a while. Because apparently, they don't mind these cover songs that I'm playing. Man, I tried to play some Van Halen last night, and I caught all kinds of shit. I shut down and tried to redo the live stream like 3 times. I didn't even bother the third time. I was just like, fuck it. It's like 4 a.m. Like, I hate fuck this. I'm going to bed. You guys, I love this cover. It's by Adele, but listen to this cover. This is a metal cover of Adele, which I think is great. Oh, hang on. I got to take this. Hello. Oh, hi. Yeah. Yeah, I'm playing it right now, dude. Yeah. Yeah, they're listening. Hang on. This is a sick cover of Hello. Hello. Oh, look at you Southern people. You guys are owning and representing. Y'all get along. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Shaq. Absolutely. Sub to Amy the Mod's channel. This is cool, man. You're all cool. I do love this cover, though. But this is my music. You know, I'm a product of the 80s. I was born in the 70s. I cut my teeth on Nirvana in the 90s and became a dad not too shortly after that. That's funny, Petra. That's great. She's got really good people in her chat too. Tell you, the fabric of truth that is putting people in each other's paths is insane. It really is. It's insane. Thanks for hanging out, you guys. I appreciate it. Like, thank you for staying subbed, and well, I kind of did my hiatus and stuff, you know. It just didn't feel right. But I appreciate the shit out of every one of you. Thanks, I appreciate that. I'll have to check that out, D. I lived in North Carolina, Moonchild. It's good to see you. I lived there for a little while. I was stationed at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. That's where I went through my training. Guys, this is an Adele cover. Yeah, I like Jars of Clay too. It's a good Christian rock band. If you're down with God, man, it means you don't have all the answers, and I get that. I like that. Robert Nazala, stop it. All right, go on. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. And you know I love you too. Yeah, I do appreciate that. You're good. You're a good man. The best kind. The best kind of people. Many more. Hello from the other side. Did you guys know that I was in a rock band? I probably told you that back when I was in. I've been in 3 rock bands, and that was a lot of fun too in life. That was a great time. I enjoyed so much of that, and I met a lot of Oh, check it out. I got my cell phone because I'm on this, and I just went through to see what was playing, and it's got me. I'm in my own feed. I love it. Oh, and I'm live. Maybe I should jump in and watch. I won't do that. I'm going to play more music because it makes me happy. Because I love music. I do. Oh my God. Yes, I do love music. I do. Anybody got anything going on with them? I mean, what's happening in your world? Anybody need prayer? Anybody need anything? I was a singer, but I also play the piano. I play the guitar. I play the drums, and I can fudge it on bass. I just follow the rhythm guitarist, and I can kind of fudge on bass. But no, I'm predominantly a vocalist. Is what I was back in the day. Chris Kuhn needs healing and prayers, so please lift her up tonight. Please lift her up. That her needs will be met. Please do that. We all need to do that for each other. That's good, Amy. That's a great instrument, We all have different instruments and talents and that kind of stuff. When I originally started singing, it was because I idolized and looked up to the musicians in my life. And I wanted that fame. I wanted that fortune. I just have to be real about it. I mean, I thought that maybe there was a future there. I've done a lot of acting. I've done a lot of plays. I've had a lot of leads in plays and musicals and that kind of stuff. But that wasn't the direction for my life. And that's okay. That's okay. Because even though I never made it to New York or LA, I'm still a fucking rock star. I'm a rock star dad. I'm a rock star husband. At least to the best that I can be. And I can now, in hindsight, knowing what I know, thank God that the path was never opened up for me to go in that direction, because I was that close to go in New York, to go to Broadway and go just try to put my foot stamp, my food stamp. If you're still here, food stamp. I was that close to going there and saying, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go try it. And you know what, I probably would have been on some casting couch, I got a spot for you on Days of Our Lives, but this dick ain't gonna suck itself. And I'd have been like, fuck that, I'm out of here. I never went that route. I think if I would have had a mentor to guide me out there, I might have tried it, trying the acting thing or trying to land something. But in hindsight, I'm so much more blessed and happy. I really am, that I didn't just drop everything in my life and just go out there and try. I mean, I really am, because now we are learning the hindsight of everything involved in that industry. And you know what? It makes me absolutely sick to think about. And it's still going on, but not for too long. I think that is all part of the Q plan and the great awakening of the world. The world. But part of the world is LA and Hollywood, or Hollywood and New York. And we are learning about the gross misconduct that's been happening all throughout. Not only that, but it's just everywhere. The corruption, just where the power, where the money, where the influence all comes from, is just seated in absolute disgusting behavior. At least the people in the positions of power and authority are seated in corruption. As I said, not everybody is bad. And that gives me hope. But the ones that are bad aren't bad. They are fucking horrendously horrible, horrendous individuals. And it's in every facet of our lives. It's in every industry. It's everywhere. You guys, lest we forget all of the CEOs that stepped down from the Fortune 500 companies just in the last 2 years. CEOs, we're talking 6-figure, sometimes 7-figure incomes. Meh, I'm done running this company. I think I'll just walk away. What? How are you going to step down as a CEO from a company and just walk away from a Fortune 5? Isn't that what you went to college for? Isn't that what you worked your whole life for? Why would you walk away from a Fortune 5? Oh, I get it. Because you're fucking kids and you're eating them and you're sacrificing them. Oh, and you got all this collusion. You got all this bullshit all interweaved through, and you found yourself in a position where you just had to go along to get along. And you had that degree, and you obviously had the smarts, but you didn't have the wherewithal to step away. And okay, I get it. You know what? I ain't judging. I mean, if I was in that position of authority, I mean, if it was going on and it was kind of like, well, everybody knows it's happening and this and that, and these people that are having it happen to them are kind of on board and stuff. And hey, if it's not your thing, I get it. I mean, you don't have to do this. I mean, you can carve out a nice life and do your thing, but just know that this is the ugly, dirty, disgusting side of the business. Cool? You mean the people that it's happening to are cool with that? Yeah, they're absolutely cool with it. I mean, it seems odd to me, but okay, I'll run this company. Now, these people are stepping down because the hammer is falling. It is dropping. Absolutely, Shaq. Deep state. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we are living in phenomenal times right now, my friends. I do. We are. It's not I think. We are living in the golden age, the second golden age. The first golden age was after World War II, and that was a big, momentous occasion. But we are moving into our own gold age. Our children, even ourselves, are going to live the rest of our days. Listen, I don't know how good it's going to get for all of us, but I know that it's going to get better for everybody. Who knows where the ceiling is of where this will go, but it's going to be better for everybody, because when you root the absolute disgusting behavior that those in the know now are privy to, it's, how could it not be better? How could we not be happy for the future of our children or our grandchildren? I don't know. Well, an hour and 3 minutes, and I'm not gonna end it. I'm sticking with you guys. I'm gonna play another song. You know why? Because I haven't been on. Basically, last night I tried a little bit. I kind of didn't. I wasn't able to get past like the 6 or 7 minute mark, and that sucked. But tonight I'm here, and tonight my streaming is all working nice. So let's just, if you got to go, you got to go. And I understand, but I don't have to go. So I'm going to stay, and I hope you'll stay with me. So let's put on another song. I'm going to go use the restroom and grab a beer, and I'll give you a good one. But I'm not going to do a commercialized one because I don't want the copyright strike, and I don't want my microphone to cut off. That was the weirdest shit ever, you guys. Hey, there's people leaving. That's okay. All right. I'm put on another cover. And then what we're going to talk about after this, you guys, is, and you know what? The 3 people that dropped out of the chat, that's okay. I ain't mad. I don't hate you. But you're going to miss the talk for what's coming up for us. And what this next week, in my belief, is what will bring to us. I'm going to put something on, and then thank you, Amy. I appreciate you even coming in and saying hello. I do. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I understand. Your mom, your wife, you have a life, and that goes for every one of you. I get it. I get it. So I'm going to go into the next portion of it, and I'll perhaps be on another 20 minutes or so, and then yeah, that. So Amy the mod, as I said before, is a moderator in the Patriot Hour. So say hello to her, welcome her. She's awesome. Every one of you will love her. I mean, she's great people, from what I can tell. And jump on and subscribe to her channel, definitely, because there's some fun to be had there, definitely. And that we like. All right. Oh, you guys want to hear a heavy metal version by this guy of Friends in Low Places? I don't think I've heard it, but I'm going to play it for you. So deal with it. I'll be back in a second.
Garth Brooks. Blame it all on my roots. I showed up in boots and ruined your black tie affair. The last one to know, the last one to show. I was the last one you thought you'd see there. And I saw the surprise and the fear in his eyes when I took his glass of champagne. I told you, said, honey, we may be through, but you'll never hear me complain. 'Cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. And I'll be okay. Hell, I'm not big, but so crazy. Think I slip on down to the oasis. So I got friends in my own places. Well, I guess I was wrong. I just don't belong. But then I've been there before. Everything's alright. I'll just say goodnight and I'll show myself to the door. Hey, I didn't need to cause a big scene. Just give me an hour and then, well, I'll be as high as that ivory tower. That's on in the air. 'Cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. Yahoo! I'm so crazy, think I slip on down the oasis. So I got friends in my own places.
All right. Well, we got to go to the break at least, right? What the fuck? Never heard this before. But it was bad. Somebody's playing one of those. Wow, 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 wow. This is bad. I wish Garth sang it like this. I like this a lot. I'm sorry. Never heard it before. I think I love this. Since my friends are low, that seemed appropriate. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, it's brought to you by the new improved Garth. Whoops. That sounds like an open A. What is this? Yeah. Scene. All right. So let's talk about this week. Next week. This week. So this week, I think shit's gonna get really, really real. Sorry. I'm sorry. I feel real bad for doing that. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Yeah, this week. Thanks, D. I appreciate that. I think you're right. I think you're right, D. I think he was lost for a little while. I don't know. So this week, hey, John Barry. John Barry late to the party, but nonetheless still at the party. Everybody say hi to John Barry. Our Navy man. Ow! Navy man. All right. So this week, my prediction, it's not really my prediction. It's kind of loosely based on the Q drops that have been coming through. The Q drops that are coming through are phenomenal. Forgive me. I'm trying to think about how I want to go into this next week and discuss this. I heard a video today, and it was by SGT Report. I don't know if you guys watch SGT Report. I do. I love that. I love that channel. Sean from SGT Report is so just, his news, everything is just so right on. I mean, the guy gets it. And isn't that what about the truth movement is? It's about the people that get it. You guys know why I stepped away, or why you step away from different channels. They try to take you down. You know, you're going this way, and boom, they take you off a different narrative. And it's like, no, you know what? You got to, boom, keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on the truth. Stay with the truth. Don't let people pull you off the truth. And I forgot that. I surely did. But that's okay. Because I think this next week to 10 days to maybe 20 days, but I think we're going to see boom after boom after boom after boom coming up. There's been a countdown that's been going on. I mean, anybody that can turn on a Fox News, anybody that can turn on a CNN, you could watch those two channels and watch nothing else, and watch Fox News and CNN, and you listen to one side and listen to the other side and say, these two channels are very different with very different narratives. So I either A, have to listen to Fox, or B, have to listen to CNN and vet the information. That's the problem. You guys, at the end of the frickin' day, when this is all said and done, people are not vetting the information. They're taking it at face value. They are taking what's crammed down your fucking throat and saying, oh, I guess Trump's bad. Or let's go the other way. Oh, I guess the Democrats are bad. Well, fuck, Johnny, you got two choices here. Go find the truth. Why aren't you going out and searching the truth? You have two trusted news sources. How can that not be an oxymoron in and of itself? How can it not be? And even furthermore, why do I have to point this out to you if you are a deranged Trump derangement syndrome victim, or if you are a Trump supporter? Well, the short reason is that the Trump supporter is a Trump supporter because they know the rest of it's bullshit. They know that there's no collusion with Russia or China. There's no collusion. No collusion. Remember it. No collusion. There's no collusion. Is there collusion with Russia, Mr. President? Wrong. 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 No collusion. No collusion. No collusion, folks. Remember that. No collusion. There's no collusion with Russia, China. No collusion. Well, what about the other side? What about the Democrats? Well, they wouldn't lie to me. That's CNN. The most trusted name in cable or whatever news. Fuck that. They're not. You already know it. They're horrible. They're horrendous. They're terrible. You do not get to ask me any more questions because you are fake news. Fake news. Remember that, people. Fake news. They are fake news. D. That's hilarious. Thank you. I love it, John Barry. I do. I swear to God, I love it. They flew that flag. You know what I say about what's coming up in the fucking Q movement, you guys? Goddamn right. It's coming. It's here. We are about to see it. We are. We just... How could you not know that it's coming? You guys ever see Scent of a Woman? You ever see that with Al Pacino? I think about that end scene. I think about the scene at the end of Scent of a Woman. Al Pacino is blind in this movie, Scent of a Woman. He relies on his sense of smell, his sense of hearing. He can't see, but he knows bullshit when he hears it. And there's an end at the end of that movie of Scent of a Woman where the character was can't think of his name. Chris what was his name? Can't think of him. But he played Charlie. He was the guy that was taking care of Al Pacino. Hooah! And Charlie was from Oregon. Okay? Charlie was from Oregon. And Charlie had gotten not in trouble at the school. He went to a private school. He's from Oregon. He came there on a somebody. What do you a scholarship. He's on a scholarship. And he did not have the stones to tell his mom and dad that he had witnessed something and was going to be questioned about it. But Al Pacino, with all of his sensibilities working, that worked, but only sight not working, could hear and could sense this boy was in trouble. So they got through their weekend. And Charlie goes to face the fire in front of all of the student faculty and students and upper faculty and upper whatever, and get questioned about this. And as he's about to face the fire, in comes Al Pacino with his cane, and he's walking. And the guy that drives his limo is walking him down. And he comes up, and Charlie looks around. And he's like, Jesus, hey, Colonel. And the Colonel comes up and sits down next to him because he's got nobody. He's got the truth, but he doesn't know what to do with it. And the guy puts him through the ringer and says, Mr. Sims, do you recognize the size and shape of the name of the school is Baird, the Baird School. And he says, do you recognize the size and shape of the Baird School person that damaged this, car? And he says, yes, sir. It's the size and shape of, and he stammers and he waits. And the guy says, it was the size and shape of whom, Mr. Sims? And he says, with Al Pacino right next to him. And he knows who did it. And he says, it was the size and shape of most any Baird student, sir. And he really, really struggled. And he'd struggled over this the entire movie. Struggled to how, what the dais would even bring him to speak about. And the guy who happens to be like the dean or whatever of the school, whose car got, vandalized, says, well, Mr. Sims, while your testimony doesn't help at all, it doesn't help at all. And he says, and I'm not going to punish this other guy. He's been the only one here worthy of calling himself a Baird man. You, Mr. Sims, are a liar and a cover-up. And at that point, Al Pacino, who is blind and spent 2 days with this young man, says, so the other guy says, you are a liar and a cover-up. And Al Pacino goes, but not a snitch. And the guy goes, I beg your pardon. And Pacino goes, no, I don't think I will. Mr. Sims doesn't want to be labeled worthy of being a bad man. He's not going to go along to get along. And that's you. That's me. We're done. We're not going along to get along. And that day, my friends, is very soon. We're done. We're not going to listen to the mainstream media. We're not going to go along to get along. It's not even on the table. It's non-negotiable. Mr. Sims, I will give you one more chance to name who vandalized that car. Mr. Sims doesn't want another chance. We don't want another chance. We don't want to be recoddled. We don't want that. We just want to be past this. We know the truth. We know what's in our future. We want to move forward in truth. And I feel that those days are like right here, you guys. They're here. They're like right here. And it's, I feel it inside of me. But on the other hand, it's hard to get up for it. This has all been a very, very big learning curve. All of it. What an education, you guys. I mean, our whole lives are education, but what an education the last year and a half. Holy shit. Holy shit. Think about where you are right now versus where you used to be. Where are you in your knowledge? Where are you in your journey? Where are you? I don't know. If you're anything like me, you've had ups, downs, and the only thing that you know for sure is that we're getting fucked and have been. And the longer it goes on, the more we see, the more it pisses us off. It doesn't piss us off to go pick up our rifle and go do something ridiculous. I mean, what they're trying to sing over there on the island off of Australia. I'm not saying people didn't get hurt. I'm not saying that, but that's not you. That's not me. That's not what this movement is about. This movement is about bringing the world together. It's about bringing us together. It's about restoring good versus evil. It's about not glorifying evil. You don't put it on a pedestal. And that's not what we weren't taught to put evil on a pedestal. We weren't. None of us were. Even if you're evil, unless you're a very small percentage, you weren't raised to put evil on the pedestal. And if you were, then lick your wounds and say, listen, that's how I was taught, but I get it. I mean, evil's bad. You're not supposed to be evil. I get that. Some people have no choices. Those are the ones we need to pray for. But our time's coming, my friends. Our truths, our hearts, it's all coming. Whether the blind want to see it or not, or embrace it or not, it doesn't matter. This thing is bigger than any one of you and me combined, total. This movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment. And we were told that from the get-go. And we have been given proof after proof after proof that this is in our very near future. So don't you lose any hope. Don't lose any hope. You're better than that. We're all better than that. We're not just going to eat up what the mainstream television tells us. We're not going to eat the mainstream narrative. Fuck that. How could you? How dare any one of us let all those people that died through the hands of the deep state, how can we let them die in vain? Fuck that. We're not letting it happen. We're going to stand by. We know what's going on in Washington. We know what's going on in the world. We know why there's human trafficking. We know why there was Epstein Island. We know. And it's not happening anymore. Right? God forbid Trump gets taken out tomorrow. We're not fucking letting it happen. And he's not going to get taken out. He's got the hand of God on him. That's the only thing possible to even root out this evil that's in this world. Nothing's going to happen. But if something did, there's enough awake that we will take back this country and we will root this evil out just based off the message that we've been hearing for the last year and a half, right? I think so. I absolutely think so. All right. Hour and a half. Okay. I love y'all. And I mean that. And I should kill the stream so that I can do another one in the future. So I'm going to do that. But you guys get on your knees tonight. I mean, say those prayers. Say them. I think there's power in them. I believe there's power in them. I do. And I believe the next week we're all going to be shown what kind of power there is in putting support behind somebody that is on the moral majority. Keep in mind, Trump is a lot of things, but a pedophile and all the shit you know about the deep state, he's not. That's what he's not. They can't move his moral compass. But remember, he's human. I mean, you look at the power that this guy had his whole life. And he walked away from the evil side of business, at least that whole side of business. Again, I'm not saying that he's a perfect guy. I'm not. But he is what he was designed to be. And that's a bull in the china shop to the deep state, while the good guys and the Q team are running plays in the background. And that's all this is. Why did Trump say in that speech where he said our movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment? Why in that same speech did he say, I didn't have to do this, folks? I could have taken my lifelong earnings basically and went off into the sunset and had, spent time with my family and all that. He didn't have to do it. Why did he do it? He was recruited by the military. This is a military operation, point blank, period. Military operation. He was the man for the job. And they went to him and said, we need you. And he gets it. He said it in many debates, many of this, many of that. Folks, it was my job to get along with Democrats and Republicans. I had to do the very best that I could for my family in business. Of course he was greasing palms. Of course he was shaking hands. He just didn't buy into the narrative of the corruption that was going on behind the scenes, but yet knew about it. So when they came to him and knocked, Mr. Trump, your country needs you. Will you answer the call? And he did. I don't know how it went down, but he answered the call. Guy gave up a multi-billion-dollar lifestyle to go through this absolute fucking horror show that you've seen this man and his family put through for the last 3 years since he announced he was even running for president. I mean, you think Trump's so dumb he didn't know this was coming? He knew it was coming. He answered the call. Now it's our job to stay on and be supportive of where this is going. So what I'll tell you tonight is that I'm answering the call. I'm still on board. I'm 100%. I've never felt more strong in my life about being behind this president and being behind what's coming. You might call it trust the plan. I'll call it trust the plan. I trust the plan. Do you? All right. So, hour and 33 minutes. Good enough for me? Good enough for you? Hope so. If not, I'm sorry. I'll try to do better next time. But you guys, absolutely, John Barry. I know, man. I believe that actually about every single one of you. I do. I'm hoping that that message reaches people that maybe see this passing in jest, but I'm trusting this fucking plan. I'm trusting this plan. So, all right. Live stream over. Me. Bye. I love you guys. Be awesome to each other. We'll talk soon. Very soon. Have a good night. Have a good week. Eyes open. It's coming very soon.